Hey Minecrafters, this is Sonic and welcome to my another Minecraft tutorial video. This video will be about monster spawners. Now when players talk about monster spawners, they usually mean a cage-like block with a mob it's spawning rotating in itself. There are up to 6 types of mob spawners. 3 of them spawn in underground dungeons. These are zombie, skeleton, and spider spawners. You can find cave spider spawners in abandoned mine shafts, blaze spawners in nether fortresses, and a silverfish spawner in an end portal room of an end fortress. You cannot relocate the spawners in any way in normal survival mode. That means you cannot push them with pistons, and if you mine them with pickaxe or hands, you will destroy the spawn cage and all you will get is experience. Now let's take a trip in my artificial cage where I will show you how the spawners work. So the first thing I'm going to do is lit up this wall so the enemy mobs from the spawners on the other side of this wall won't be able to spawn in this cave. Next thing I'm going to do is switch from peaceful difficulty into easy. So now the enemy mobs will spawn, and on the other side of the cave you can see how a dungeon with a mob spawner looks like. There's a mob spawner in the middle, in our case it's skeleton, and it usually contains 2 chests with random types of treasures. So the first thing you want to obviously do is get rid of the mobs that are already spawned. And the next step right after it is to lit up the close area around the mob spawner so the mob spawner won't be able to spawn enemy mobs anymore, as enemy mobs need darkness to spawn. Now the spawn cage itself will be active once you're less than 16 blocks close to it. So as I pass the 16th block, you can see the spawn cage is inactive, but as I get close again, you will see the fire particles, which indicates that the mob spawner is active again. Once the mob spawner is active, it will try to spawn up to 6 of its type of enemy mobs in the close area around the mob spawner. Once you have the area secured, it is really up to you if you want to mine the spawn cage and get a lot of experience, or you can get even more experience by converting the dungeon into a XP farm. So that's what I'm going to show you after the cutscene, how you will use a simple design to get your XP farm the most efficient you can get. Okay, so I'm logged on a server where I already managed to find a skeleton mob spawner, and I hid it from other players' eyes. So now I will just speed it up and get to the point where I found the skeleton spawner. Here we are, believe it or not, but behind this wall of gravel I hid a dungeon with a skeleton spawner. So let's dig it out. Here we go. I already looted the chests and I already lit up the whole dungeon. I also made myself a little comfy here. So now I will make room for the skeletons to spawn. I will make a water stream that will splash the skeletons into a fall trap where they will have little health, and I will be able to loot the experience from them with 1 hit. So let's get started. Okay, so the mob spawner room is complete, and now I'll just quickly explain you what I just did here. I placed water sources like this, so all the water in the room is streaming to the hole, where skeletons will be flushed in, fall 22 blocks. They will survive, but with minimum health, so we will be able to finish them with one strike and get all the experience from them. You place the water sources like this, but in the opposite corner, you want to leave these 3 blocks without a water source and place the last water source 1 block above, like this. You want to dig the whole room 9 blocks wide, 9 blocks long, and 6 blocks high. That means you'll dig 4 blocks in each direction from the spawn cage, 2 blocks above the spawn cage. That means I can block this, there is no use for this room. And 3 blocks below the spawn cage. Now most of it is because the skeletons are able to spawn in the whole area, so you want them to be able to spawn in the whole area, so you will increase the spawn rate and the efficiency of the XP farm. The only thing you want to block is the 2 blocks above the spawn cage, so skeletons won't spawn on the spawn cage and therefore be stuck there and won't be flushed into the trap. The only reason you want to dig 3 blocks below the spawn cage is because when a skeleton spawns behind the cage, he won't be stuck by its own cage, but he will be flushed under the cage into the fall trap. Now the last thing I want to do is mine up these chests, of course. And now I'll just speed the video up again and show you how I dig the fall trap and 2 shafts with which we will be able to access the killing area and the mob spawner area. Okay, so the XP farm is complete. I turn off the lights, so now the skeletons can spawn as they like. I build off this window so the skeletons won't shoot me, and I can look at them as they fall into the falling trap. Here they go, 4 skeletons spawned. As you can see, they fall down, they survive. And now, as I have this drop shaft for me with a water break, I can kill the skeletons with bare hands and get the experience out of them. So as you see, the XP farm works like a charm. You can make a XP farm out of the other mob spawners as you like. It just requires different designs. For example, I will show you when you have a spider mob spawner, I think you must do the drop zone only 16 blocks deep, so the spiders won't die. And also the spiders tend to crawl up from the kill zone and then drop themselves down, and by that they kill themselves. So to prevent this, you wanna mine all the 4 walls like this. Then you wanna block the middle 4 blocks. So you will have to place a sign down here, then a sign on it, and then the 3 signs on this sign. So by that you blocked the 4 blocks, so spiders will fall down and take damage. And then you place water here, so a spider that will want to climb up this wall will be pushed by the water back 2 blocks down, so he won't take damage, and the spiders would stay down. So you have to repeat this step on all 4 walls. So yeah, that's pretty all I can tell you about mob spawners and making XP farms out of them. So if it was helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching.